EDP, how are you doing? Long, exhausting week if you are an Eagles fan. Massive, massive game. I don't care what anyone ever says. For me, I mean, I think I'm more of a typical Eagles fan. Uh, Cowboys games are always huge. I don't care what the records are of the teams, or they should be, because if Eagles are in your blood, you should hate the Dallas Cowboys and everything about them.
Yep.
And they could be winless, and you want to beat them 50-0.
Yeah. Pound them into the sand.
Right? I mean, am I wrong about that? And by the way, to that point, the last thing I'll add before I give you the floor is records get thrown out in division rivalries like this.
Ask the Bills. Ask the
Yeah,
Bills.
yeah,
Going to Miami and getting
100%,
smacked around. You're gonna do
100%.
that title, and I'm going on a tangent.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna get in there and do the title right now.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, you put it right well, CDS. The division games, as far as I'm concerned, every division game is a must win. No matter what your record is, no matter what playoff implications are on the line, every division game is a must win. To add on top of that, the Eagles are fighting for home field advantage. The Dallas Cowboys are trying to get themselves a wild card spot. Even more must win. The Eagles and the Cowboys faced off week 1. We had the weather interference around the third quarter. No team scored the rest of that game. The Eagles were up 24-21. They finished the game 24-21.
Right.
We need to win that game. The Dallas Cowboys go out on the trade deadline and make some big moves. The Eagles go out on the trade deadline and make some big moves. Adds to the must win, right? The Dallas Cowboys, their defense is getting a little bit better. Their offense is hit or miss. The Eagles, their defense is the best in the league. Their offense is very miss and sometimes hit. And this is the thing, if our offense, everybody included, Sirianni, Patullo, Ertz, Brown, Saquon. I'll never put Devontae Smith in that bucket. The offensive line, guys, if you can't get up for this game, if today can't be the game where you hit all of your assignments as far as blocking goes, I don't know what to tell you. If today is the game that you don't run out every single one of your routes at 110%, I don't know what to tell you. Saquon, if you don't hit the hole every time as hard as you could possibly hit the hole, if you don't shred some tackles in the backfield, I don't know what to tell you. Jalen, take some shots downfield. Don't turn the ball over. You don't. He doesn't turn it over. I'm just saying. I don't know what to tell you. This is the game where all of the ifs, ands, or buts needs to turn into definitely's. Oh, if AJ Brown finishes his route, no, he'll definitely finish his route today. Oh, if Dallas Goddard is blocking, no, he better block today. Oh, if the offensive line recaptures what they did last year, no, today better be the day that they recapture what they did last year. If Jalen Hurts, today better be the day Jalen Hurts. If today better be the day, because I know for sure the defense is going to come ready to go. The defense is going to come ready to get their hands on Dak Prescott. You know how I know? Because Jalen Carter was tossed out before game 1 even started. Dak Prescott spit on his jersey, spit right before him. Jalen Carter returns fire and spits on his jersey. Right? This is a game where the defense needs to be like, Jalen, we're gonna go get after Dak Prescott for that. For that, we're gonna go after and get him. Jalen Phillips has come in and I don't want to say he's the one that turned this defense around, but he's given new life, new energy to this defense where he's just filled up the hole perfectly, and there seems to be no holes, no gaps, no weaknesses on this defense. The front seven is lights out. Davis, Carter, Smith, lights out. Dean, Campbell, Bond, Hunt, lights out. The only weakness, and if you want to call it a weakness, is the cornerback position, the secondary. Quiniano Bay is a thing because Quinton Mitchell is a lockdown DB. Cooper DeJean is a beast. Reed Blankenship, probably one of the most underrated safeties in the league. Makuba still coming along, but the defense is so good that Makuba's being brought along perfectly. If the defense was bad around him, a lot of Makuba's inefficiencies and deficiencies would be a lot more glaring. The fact that our defense around him is so excellent, it allows him to make some mistakes and still get covered on the back end. This team is ready to go. And I'll say this again. I'll say this one more time before I leave you, CDS. Beat the shit down these fucking Cowboys. I just can't stomach losing to the Cowboys ever. I can't, physically I get sick when we lose to the Cowboys. And today needs to be a game where we walk into Dallas and we beat shit down their leg. Go ahead.
You you and me both, and it's funny that you said that uh, because I was thinking about when you were talking about that, and we were talking about obviously the rivalry ahead of time. Is it irks me a little bit now, and certain players, and I don't mean just this team, but even in the last few years, players that don't get what this rivalry is, that it's just a game to them. Get out of Philly, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like for
Yeah.
me, I'm just like get out of Philly. But one thing I wanted to add real quick, because I think it's really important, and you mentioned it, is Jalen Phillips has been an absolute game changer for this team. Now, to be fair, um, and the timing of it has been amazing because N'Kobe Dean, Nolan Smith, and Jalen Phillips all kind of happened about the same time, right? Like we got Dean back, Smith back, then we get Phillips, and they all add to the pass rush, which is one of the things we talked about, right? Not having any defensive end. We need that CB2. And that has been an absolute game changer. We're getting more consistent pressure on the quarterback. Jalen Hunt has been a huge part of that. He's been phenomenal the last 3 or 4 games in that respect. And because of that, I think that is one of the big reasons that we got what you mentioned, which is being able to bring Makuba along. Like we haven't heard Makuba's name much, and I think that's actually a good thing, right? Like, because that means, well, one, he's not getting burned, and he hasn't had to make big plays because of the changes we've made elsewhere, which has allowed him to learn on the job a little more than, say, early in the season where we weren't getting any pressure on the quarterback. We weren't stopping the run game. I mean, the defense wasn't horrible early on, but this defense 10 games in is not the defense we had
Yeah.
2 or 3 games in, right? Like they're not even in the same universe.
Yeah. I would
And
argue that
I
our
see this team, I see this defense just continuing to get better as the season goes along because this is actually it's almost for me this defense is almost like this is the beginning of the season for them because it has changed so much with the players that are on the field and learning to play together. And look, man, N'Kobe Dean has been phenomenal since he got back. Nolan Smith has been phenomenal since he got back, and yet they were out a long time, man. They actually are going to or should continue to perform better than they did just now. I mean, to perform at the level that they have just coming back after all that time out is absolutely kind of wild when you think about it. I mean, I did not expect that. I know they're good players. I knew they would help, but I didn't think they would have the impact they did right away just because they've been out so long. So they're going to continue to get better. Jalen Phillips is going to continue to get comfortable with this team and get better. Makuba, as you mentioned, just having time out there is going to continue to get better. I will add with Carter. I will finish up, give you the floor back with Carter. The man was out of shape early in the season, and we've seen his conditioning get better and better, and we've seen what that has done for his performance. He is going to continue to get better and
yeah.
better. This offense has to just, and when I say this offense right now, I'm strictly talking about Kevin Patullo. They just have to make some very simple changes, stop going 3 and out all the damn time, and score 20 points. And they should be able to, with the talent they have, there's no reason that they can't run plays that allow this offense to get 20 points. Absolutely criminal if they cannot do that. Anyway, there was
Yeah,
my
no,
soapbox.
yeah,
Now you
no.
can
They
run
gotta.
it.
The team has to score 21 points. If the team scores 21 points, I feel confident in every single game. To that point, on the flip side, if there is a game, right? Let's just say there's a game where the defense allows 30 points, then Patullo, it's time. It's time to do what we did in the second half of the Los Angeles Rams game. It's time to do that for the entire game. Take shots down the field, get a little bit creative, take some chances. Now on your defensive points, CDS, it's flipped actually. The first 10 games, our passing defense was much better than our rushing defense. And the reason why we might have gotten burnt a couple times throughout the season in the pass game is because teams were beating us in the run, forcing Vic Fangio to change things up schematically, bring our CBs down, bring our safeties down to where we're a little bit more exposed because we're locking them down on the passing game. But we got to stop the run eventually. Now
Yeah.
our run game, dude, teams aren't doing shit against this run game. Teams aren't doing anything against this front seven, right? Now it seems like
Well,
our run
that's
defense is
yeah,
better than our
that's
pass
it.
defense, but our pass defense is still good. Like
Yeah.
they were never bad; they're still good to where you take your chances here and there. You better hope that those chances hit because you're going to take a deep shot against Mitchell. It's not going to
Yeah.
work. You're going to take a
Well,
deep shot against
and
Sheen. It's not going to work. The defense is very
those yeah,
complementary of each other at this point.
those are well, those are the little things that make huge differences that I don't think we really talk about enough. For example, if with the front seven that they have now and the way they're playing, you don't necessarily have to walk the safeties down
Mm,
as far
mm,
to support in the run game. Or if you do, maybe it's just one, whereas before it was both. And so just by doing that or not having to do that, your pass defense is better, right? Just by simply not having to put the safeties in the box because you have a front seven that's handling the running game, that makes the pass defense that much better. And of course, we all know the way they're getting pressure on the quarterback now, which of course makes the pass defense that much better. One thing, oh man, there was something that you said that I wanted to comment on with regard to Jalen. Jalen Hurts. I want to say this one thing about him, and not even about his performance, but this is the type of stuff that really has pissed me off. This is lazy analysis by the media. One of the narratives we know they're trying to push is that the simple offense is what Jalen wants to run because Jalen can't do X and Jalen can't do Y.
mm.
Now, forget the fact that I can go and find film, which I've done, and says, oh, well, those passes you say he can't throw, here he is throwing them over and over. But setting that aside, okay, we can look at what he's done in the past, right? We can look at how did he get A.J. Brown two consecutive 1,400-yard receiving seasons, and all of a sudden now it's because Jalen can't throw certain routes to A.J. Brown. But here's the point where I say we put the lie to that. And there's been multiple examples. But for example, after the Rams game, remember the Rams game, to your point, where they had to open it up in the second half? And Jalen, who's very nice about it, he doesn't like to throw people under the bus. I think we can all agree on that. He made comments about, and he's done this multiple times now, about that first half. That's not us. The second half is the way we want to play. He's made comments about how they've let me out of the straitjacket at times. This is not the offense Jalen Hurts wants to run. Jalen Hurts doesn't want to run this offense. Jalen Hurts wants the straitjacket off. He feels constrained by the play calling. And he would be, from everything I'm getting from him, he would be very happy to open it up a little bit. And again, there is a balance, right? And that's what I think we forget too. In 2023, it was opened up a lot and we turned the ball over a lot more than usual. The other numbers were big, right? And that's the balance you have to find. But if this offense can throw for 225, they shouldn't lose games, right? Like
Yeah.
we don't need him to throw for 350. That's the thing. Now, of course, Saquon Barkley has to step up because people want to excuse Saquon by saying the offensive line hasn't been as good, and it hasn't. But those same people magically don't want to talk about the offensive line not being as good when it comes to Jalen Hurts' performance. I'll leave you with one more thing, and you can respond to that as well. If you look at the numbers, remember last year? Do you remember what the Eagles did last year? They won a Super Bowl.
Mm.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts was the MVP of that Super Bowl. His numbers this year, when you look at, you know, I think yards per game, quarterback rating, like all that stuff, are actually better than last year.
Mm.
I think the difference is he's had games with his passing yards have been anemic this year. And people are just looking at that, right? There's no doubt but he's also like not throwing the ball a lot to get those numbers. But overall, his QB numbers are better than last year.
Mm.
Um, last thing I want to add, because I just thought it real quick on that, because that POS, that your jersey right there that you're representing with that jersey, that scumbag, you know, he made a comment the other day, a lot of dumb comments, but he made a comment of dissing Jalen Hurts and how bad he is and this and that. And people say, oh, and they talk about 24. Well, he had Saquon Barkley running for 2,500 yards. Did he have Saquon running for 2,500 yards when he outplayed Mahomes in a Super Bowl a few years ago? Was
Mm.
Saquon Barkley on the team, LaShawn McCoy? Oh, and by the way, they're 8-2 right now, and Saquon Barkley has done jack shit.
Mm.
He has one good game, 1 out of 10. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're
Well,
like just tossing back and forth rants right now.
yeah. When it comes to Jalen Hurts, just because you threw out the number 220, Jalen Hurts has had four. It's actually crazy even to say this. Has only had 4 games this season where he's thrown for over 220 yards. Only 4 games, and we are 2-2 in those games. We beat the Rams 226, but we got to 226 because we were down so badly in the second half
Yeah, that
that
was almost all the second half.
we were forced to throw the ball. So that's the win right there. Against the Denver Broncos, he goes 23 for 38 for 280. That, if I remember, is an AJ Brown force game. And then we have the Giants game where he goes 283, 24 for 33. And then the Minnesota game where he goes 19 for 23, 326 yards.
Yeah,
Let me just say this: if you look at his numbers, only the last 2 games, the only 2 times this season where he's been under 60% completion percentage. Only these last 2 games. Everything else,
yeah.
he's been 60 and above. 14 over 28, 15 and 26. It happens, but you don't hear about his bad games. You only hear about his bad games, but you don't hear about Josh Allen's bad games. You don't hear about Justin
Oh,
Herbert's bad games. You don't hear
100%.
about Dak
No, you
Prescott's bad
don't.
games. You don't
And
hear
they've
about
all had some games
some
that have been
stinker games.
far
You
worse.
don't hear about any of these guys'
Yeah,
bad games, but we're going to amplify the 2 Jalen Hurts bad games. Okay,
yeah,
2-2.
yeah. Because and even when Jalen does what you just mentioned, what is he not doing that all those guys do?
Turn
He's
it
not
over.
turning the damn
Yeah,
football over,
yeah,
right? He's not turning
yeah.
the foot. And the other thing I would add to that, because I think this goes to philosophically what this offense wants to be, although I think it's been very, very difficult this year because again, the running game has been, we're still running the ball as much, but the production has been horrible, which of course puts a lot more pressure on the passing game. And I completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, yards per attempt.
Mm.
Okay, because and the reason I bring that up is because people keep talking about how Jalen doesn't throw it any more than a few yards. He's, I think, it's 8 or 9 in yards per attempt in the NFL, and adjusted yards per attempt, he's like 5.
Mm.
Like he's top 5, top 10 quarterback. He throws the ball down. I mean, we could go through all the numbers. He
Well,
throws the
dude,
ball downfield more than anybody in the NFL actually in
this
20-yard
year is
air yards.
this year is his highest average yards per attempt in his entire career.
You mean adjusted?
Yeah,
He
adjusted
has
yards per
yeah,
attempt.
he
Yep,
has two
just
he has 2 years of 8 actually.
yeah, no, he does.
But
But 8.42, 8.42. I mean, this is 8.44.
for
But again,
oh
it's
here
high.
I got something funny for you
Yeah.
on this part because you know, obviously there's been a ton of disrespect of Jalen Hurts this year. The first place I looked to find the yards per attempt and the league leaders in that stat is I went to StatMuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts is actually missing from the list. He's literally not on the list where he should be. He's not on it at all. Talk about disrespect. I mean, it's just kind of funny when you think about it with all the stuff we've heard about Jalen Hurts this year. And StatMuse doesn't even have him on the leaderboard. And what's crazy is that's coding, man. Like that's not even a human doing that.
Yeah.
But
It
they just,
didn't
I
put
mean, it
him
might
in.
have been a human not putting him in there. Like it's just wild that he's not even on the list. Yeah, I mean, he's something like 8th or 9th at 7.4, and his adjusted yards is like it's well over 8, and I think he's 4th or 5th in the league in that number. But yeah, and I was looking at it, and really the only thing that Dak Prescott has on, and this is also why I brought it up, because one of the things they're looking at is I think Dak Prescott leads the league right now in yards, right?
Mhm.
I believe over 2,700.
Okay.
His yards per attempt, now we'll set aside the fact that he turns the ball over more. His yards per attempt is actually significantly lower than Jalen Hurts. And that's
Dak
they
Prescott is
never put.
sixth in passing yards. Sixth in passing yards.
Oh, he's sixth.
Yeah,
Maybe he's
behind
for. Oh,
May,
you know what?
Allen,
I think he's
Herbert,
first in the.
Jones, and
He's
Mahomes.
first in the NFC East.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but that's
Oh,
one of the
oh,
numbers
oh,
of.
oh, oh, dude. The top
Yeah,
five is all AFC teams.
they're throwing more, and their defenses are bad.
That's just something I noticed. The top five are all AFC teams, and then the next five are all NFC teams.
With Lamar,
That's funny.
Patrick, Josh, Drake, and oh man, Trevor.
For the top five?
Yeah.
Oh no, Lamar's not even on there.
Oh
Hurts
really?
isn't on there.
Oh,
No,
well, he was hurt. That's right. He
Drake
was hurt.
May, Josh Allen, Herbert, Jones, and Mahomes.
Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert,
Oh,
Jones, and
that's right.
Mahomes.
That's right. See, I completely forgot about Daniel because he's in Indy now.
Yeah, yeah, um,
Um,
yeah. I mean, all those
but my
guys
like
are
my point being with
very
with
turnover
with
heavy,
Dak
except
is
for Stafford.
the Cowboys throw the ball a lot more.
Yeah,
That doesn't that like that's like the only stat that the man has, and yet people want to keep talking about him being MVP and how much better he is than Jalen
yeah.
Hurts.
He's fourth in the league in attempts, 362 attempts.
Yeah, right.
362
So
attempts.
actually, that's his total yards is actually kind of underperforming.
Yeah,
If he's
people
right,
are
I
just
mean,
looking at his completion percentage and glazing over it, nearly 70% completion percentage, but that's not even the best in the league either.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying is so where are all those throws? All those throws, people, they say this about Jalen Hurts, and they're all these throws right at the line of scrimmage. Well, that's clearly what Dak is doing. If he's fourth in the league in attempts, but sixth in yards, yet his percentage is 70%, and his yards per attempt is far less than Jalen Hurts. That means he's dinking and dunking his way down the field.
Well, here you go. You're going to like this. Dak Prescott has one more completion of over 20 yards than Jalen Hurts. One more, singular. And then when it comes
And
to completions over 40 yards, he has one less than Jalen Hurts. So when it comes to big plays, 20 yards plus, they both have the same amount of plays going for 20 yards or more. Nasty work.
isn't that crazy?
It's
But no
funny
one ever
how
seems to bring that up, man.
exactly. It's very funny how the narratives can manipulate perception when it comes to how these quarterbacks play.
Oh, yeah, great choice of
But
words.
again,
That's
I think
exactly
that's.
what it
But
does
now here
because
we go. I think that's also AJ Brown. I think AJ Brown, being the complaint department that he is,
oh yeah.
feeds that
What do you
narrative
mean?
and breathe. You there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, sorry. Hold on. You got me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
AJ Brown. Yeah,
I was trying to
he
look something
feeds
up and
and gives life to that narrative. Yeah, I mean, if you look at CeeDee Lamb, and if CeeDee Lamb
oh,
after every game
for
would go
sure.
out and say, "Oh, we're not taking shots downfield," oh, this, that, and the third, well, then people might be saying, "Well, what's going on with this Dallas Cowboys offense?" But the fact that these receivers and their weapons are quiet and just allowing him to play, it doesn't even give the media an idea to start talking about that narrative. But when you have AJ Brown, this, that, and the third,
Yeah.
bitching, it doesn't really help anybody out.
You know, and AJ Brown, well, there'll be a team that'll be desperate for him, but this stuff may be backfiring on him at some point because a lot of people, because we're seeing a little bit more where people are actually really looking into what AJ Brown is doing, and they're looking into the fact that he's not getting open at all. I mean, they're looking at the fact that there's no effort on his routes. He's stopping routes in the middle of them. His separation is in terms of yards separation of the defender, it's a career low. It's not even close to what it was last year.
Mhm.
I'm looking at film. I saw one play where he ran a slat and literally, and I put this to play calling a little bit too because they know our plays, but the defender was literally on him the entire time. And I mean physically, not in terms of I think it should have been pass interference, but he was just the coverage was so good that And it goes back to what people say about Jalen too. This is an over the middle of the field. He hit AJ Brown perfectly in the hands before AJ could even bring it in. He was being tackled. That's how close the coverage was. Like the pass had to be absolutely perfect,
Yeah.
and it was. But my point being, AJ Brown never got open on that play.
Mhm.
He was never open.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
Seth Joyner's mentioned that as well.
yeah, but you're seeing more and more of that. Like this week,
Yeah,
I saw people like actually putting out all these stats, like yards per separation, and you know, all this stuff with it. And it's like AJ, you're making yourself look bad because we're seeing that the reason you're not getting receptions this year is because you're not getting open, my friend.
yeah, yeah. That's a good.
Has
But now we've talked about this numerous times. This is the thing. It's like you're not getting open, but you've also proved that if you're not open and Jalen Hurts wants to take a shot at you, you're not going to go out of your way to make a play.
exactly.
I think that's the main issue here too. Like, all right, you might not be open. Well, it's the NFL. How open are all of these guys all the time? You know what I'm saying?
You're
At
right.
certain
You're
points,
right.
these receivers are saying, "I gotta make a play." They don't pay receivers to get open. They pay you to make plays, dude.
Yeah.
They pay you to make plays, especially the receivers that aren't route runners. Maybe the route runner receivers they pay to get open, right?
Yeah.
But the big physical guys, dude, they don't pay you because you run a fucking slant. They don't pay you because you run a perfect in. Your out is magnificent. They don't pay you for that. They pay you to get up and make plays. Use your
Yeah.
body, use your physicality, and make a damn play on the ball.
They pay AJ to make the play that
50-50
we've
balls.
pointed
They
out.
call it 50-50
Yeah.
balls for a fucking reason, buddy.
That we pointed out a few times that he never even tried to make, and that was that 4th and 6,
Yep.
right? Remember that on that deep ball? And we thought, well, we're not saying that absolutely should have been a catch if he goes for it, but that's the exact ball that AJ Brown should be able to run a deep go and make a catch without ever being open because
Yeah.
it should just he should go up and get the ball at its highest point, and he should win that battle with basically any cornerback out there right now.
Yeah. It's I don't know what he's doing.
And yet I can't recall this year it happening a single time. Right? I don't remember him going up, like the way Dotson did or the way we've seen
Yeah,
Devontae
I'm sure
Smith.
there.
I
I'm
haven't
sure.
seen,
I'm not remembering a
I
play,
mean,
but
I've seen him
I want
make
to say
some
there
good
was.
catches.
Yeah, I
Don't
want to say
get
there
me
was
wrong.
a play against the Rams where there was a 50-50 ball and he made a
What?
nice play.
Okay.
But other than that, I can't really recall.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing one of those types of plays. Not that he hasn't made some good catches,
Yeah.
but
No, he doesn't do what Devontae Smith does and actually elevate and try to go over DB
yeah,
make plays. He doesn't do that.
yeah. Well, and that's another point too. Is if all this is Jalen Hurts and not AJ Brown, how come Devontae Smith can be productive?
Yeah.
Right? Like it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Yeah. Well, it's because he wants to get open. That's the thing. He wants to get open. He doesn't want to make his quarterback look less than. That's
Yeah,
what some of this comes down to as well. It make you just you don't want to shoulder the blame, so you got to do things that a little go out of your way to kind of make your quarterback less than instead of going the extra 5%. Nah, I'll just stop right here.
yeah.
I'll just slow it up right
And
here.
that for me is just personally as a fan, especially after last game, but also just the way he's handled himself his whole career. I really want to see Devontae Smith have a big game today
Mm.
because that's one of those little like ripples, side effects that could be a problem for the Eagles in the future with the way they're handling AJ Brown and being like, oh well, he's doing all this complaining, so let's go out and force the ball to him and forget about the guy who's actually out there working hard, trying to get open, not saying anything, being a professional. And now we're not going to throw him the ball because we got to get the whiny child the ball. We got to get the little baby the ball. We got to get the immature 5-year-old the ball.
And it takes away from the offense. I mean, if today, I will say this though, if today's offense is as AJ Brown heavy as it was last week, we're losing. We're
Oh
losing
yeah,
because
yeah,
then
yeah.
because the Cowboys are just gonna have too many chances.
And and
That's the thing.
also and also if we yeah, and the three and outs, which they kind of go hand in hand. Like right, if we're forcing the ball to AJ, we're going to have more three and outs
Yeah.
because
Yep.
as good as the defense is, we know that the way the game's played today is geared toward offenses. The Cowboys do have a good offense,
Mm.
and besides the fact that they've been getting better and better every year with getting more soccer players and this and that, this year with the special teams and the kickers being able to kick and prepare their own balls that they're kicking, you
Mm-hmm.
basically cross midfield and you're in field goal range. You know what I mean? So it's not like we won't give up points. We just have to make sure they're field. I mean, I can see us giving up 15 points without giving up a touchdown.
Mm.
You know, I mean, the field is short this year, man. You look at the way where these kickers are making field goals from.
Yeah, these guys really, yeah, man, they've fucked the um they fucked the kickoff so bad. They
Oh,
really
the
ruined it
kickoff.
with
Oh,
the kickoff rules
100%.
where they're putting these players like
Yeah.
if the kicks are getting naturally longer, then just make them kick off from further away. Stop making it
Oh, that's what I do. And
stop making it
they
easier. Stop
did.
moving it
I
forward.
swear. I swear, unless I'm losing my mind, there was a time when the kickoff was moved back to the 30.
Mm.
I swear there was. I'd have to look that up, but maybe I just hope there was. But you're right. I mean, move the kick. I mean, it's so easy. You can go back to before we had the explosion with the kickers and the soccer style and this and that, and be like, okay, how many kickoffs were typically into the end zone and touchbacks, say in the 90s versus
Yeah,
now. Well,
yeah,
okay, let's move the kick back to the 30. If we have to move it back to the 25,
yeah.
where most kicks now go to around the goal line, then do that. But here's the other thing though. It's weird. They want to it's also, and I think it's marketing, um, because they're trying to avoid the outrage from the everything's a concussion people, because by doing it this way, they get more runbacks, but they also get what they think they get less, full speed collisions.
Mhm.
Um, it's like they've ruined the onside kick for that as well,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Because the whole point of doing that was, oh, you can't have everyone on the same side. We got to split it. That was done in the name of safety, except the players are all so close together on an onside kick. There are no high
yeah.
speed collisions. People were not getting concussions on onside kicks, but the NFL can pretend, oh, look at what we're doing in the name of player safety,
Mm,
right? That's what it's about.
mm.
It's that perception nonsense. It's like how ridiculous they've gotten with what they consider roughing the passer
Oh
nowadays.
God, yeah.
I mean, seriously, put a flag on them. Put a flag on them.
Yeah, roughing
I
the
mean,
passer.
really, if we're not going to do that for the whole league yet, then might as well do it for the quarterback. Now it sucks for really mobile guys like a Jalen Hurts or a Lamar Jackson,
Mhm.
but if we're going to have the ridiculousness of what we see with roughing the passer nowadays, just put a flag on them, man.
Yeah, yeah. It just changes the flow of the game too much. Yeah, all these little ticky tack calls just change the flow of the game too much. Whether it's roughing the passer, pass interference, late hits, helmet to helmets,
Man,
unnecessary
dude,
roughnesses. It's all gotten a little
I,
bit too carried away. Far too
I
carried
I
away.
think I think if people were really fans of the NFL and grew up with it from like even the 2000s, but I'll say 2010 on, uh, I think they would have a breakdown if they went back and looked at football in like the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Mm,
It's not the same sport, man. Because and I, it just irks me because those are the people that like to say, "Oh well, look at the passing stats of so and so now versus Troy Aikman or," and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?
yeah,
Like, did you see the way the game was played when Troy Aikman played? And look, that's a Cowboy, man. I'm no fan, but because I saw this recently, because they're doing it with like Dak Prescott, Troy Aikman, and I'm like, what?
yeah.
It's not even the same sport, man.
Uh,
That's what I'm saying. Like below average quarterbacks nowadays, if your offensive philosophy is we're going to throw the ball 40 times, below average quarterbacks in today's NFL can throw for 3,500, 4,000 yards. It's like not a big deal. That's just the game nowadays. But
I'm just going to see where
Yeah.
the Cowboys' offensive line stacks up. All right, yeah, they're top 10 offensive line.
Oh yeah, they're good. They have a good offense. They
Top
have a
10
good
offensive
running
line.
game, man.
So
That's what I'm saying. That
it's going to be a
if
nice
I'm being fair, their offense is good. It really is.
it's going to be a nice back and forth then. Yeah,
And
another
one
thing
of
to
the
watch: line of scrimmage. Who's
yeah,
going to
oh
win?
yeah, and
Who's going to win
well,
the line of
and
scrimmage?
that's where we've taken a big step back. Is our offensive line has
Yeah,
not been very good. But again, I'm not completely excusing Saquon by the offensive line thing. He also
yeah,
has not been good.
yeah. Some of these guys. Yeah, I mean, I think we need to go draft heavy in the offensive line. First round pick needs to be a lineman that can just come in and play right away. I don't think we can
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because
push it back anymore.
someone I saw this the other day. I mean, there because people were like, "Oh, we have these players that are free agents, and you can only bring back one, and who's going to be?" And there are a lot of free agents.
Mm.
I think Jordan Davis is a free agent, and then you have guys like the very next year who will be, but like Dotson is a free agent, Jalen Phillips is a free agent. Like it's going to be the offseason is going to be really interesting, which again goes back to I'm going to bring this all the way back to Kevin Patullo again. This is why this really pisses me off, and I do not understand for the life of me. And I know Nick did it, but Nick can't do it without the blessing of Howie Roseman, and that is giving a guy the play calling role for the defending Super Bowl champs when he's never done it before. And it's the NFL. You have a small window to
Mhm.
compete for the Super Bowls. And this may be the last year. Not that it won't happen ever again, but again, you look at the contracts that we have with current players, you look at the guys who are free agents after the season. This could be a very different team next year.
Mm.
There are no guarantees that no matter how good your organization is, no guarantees that you're competing for a Super Bowl every year. And to me, it is criminally not actually criminally, but I'm making a point.
Mm.
Criminally negligent to hire Kevin Patullo as offensive coordinator for a Super Bowl winning team that wants to go back. You are wasting this. Nick's and that's where I think a lot of people, because we talk about, Nick doesn't do anything well as a head coach except that he is winning. And so people are like, oh, you don't want to change because the man's winning, something's, he's doing something right. But Nick's also responsible for Kevin. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but I
come on.
haven't seen many top teams that get rid of their head coach and remain a top team. You know, that really doesn't happen.
Mm. Um, the Steelers, uh, but also
Yeah, but look, you go from what they had three head coaches in the last 40 years.
I know
You
that's
know what I'm
incredible.
saying? And that's
That's
what I think
incredible.
Steelers fans need to get through their fucking head. Not to go off on a tangent here. Like, guys, I know you're not happy with Mike Tomlin, but I guarantee you, the next fucking head coach you bring in, you guys are going to be 3-14, and you're going to be saying, "Shit, what the
Well,
fuck did we do? Why do we do it? Blah 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 blah."
you know what though? I think
Because the Rams, they
I
haven't fired McVay. They haven't really been done. They haven't fired McVay. The Niners haven't fired Kyle Shanahan.
I think
Other
the
than those two guys and Andy Reid, the next
I
guy
think
that
the
really needs to
Steelers.
go is fucking Sean McDermott. That's the guy that needs to go. If there's a head
Well,
coach that needs to go, he
but
needs to go.
I want to dial back to the Steelers for a second because I think they actually need that. I think one of the problems for the Steelers, and I think a lot of teams get like this, is they have been okay for a long time, right? They've gone into a lot of seasons now where it's like, yeah, they can make it to the playoffs. And the problem with that is when you're like that for a long time, is then you usually don't ever take that next step. I think they actually need what you just said. The Steelers need a 3-14 season. Like they need that reset. They need to clean house. Say, look, we're going to be bad for a year or two, but we need to do that to get back to competing for a Super Bowl. Otherwise, we're going to be 8-9 and 9-8 for the next decade.
Yeah, when it comes to the Steelers, they've been saying this for the last 5-6 years. Though it's not like this is the
Exactly.
first year.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. But no, the other example I would give is the Eagles actually. Doug Peterson to Nick Sirianni.
Mhm.
There wasn't a whole lot of we're bad in there. Doug did not get a very long leash. Nick came in. You know what I mean? Like it's not like with Doug we had
Oh
three or
yeah,
four
dude.
bad seasons.
Yeah, I don't want to go through 3 head coaches in a matter of 10 years.
That would actually be
I
better
don't.
than most teams, man.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to be better than most teams. You know what I mean? I want a guy that's gonna be here for a good 10 years. See what we can do. Do the whole quarterback head coach pairing. See what we can do. I mean,
Yeah, but
the whole
the
Dungy
the
Manning, Belichick,
the
Brady,
problem
Breeze,
with that,
Sean Payton.
well, dude,
Um,
that's so incredibly rare. But here's the problem with that, and I think that
that's the point. We're in rare air right now. This team's in rare air.
yeah, but hold on, you got to take that next step. Here's what you're missing because it's not always just the head coach. How many offensive coordinators did Tom Brady have?
Three,
One, two,
three,
three
four.
in 20 plus years. Forget Tampa because obviously it's going to change when he switches teams. Um, and that's my point. And that's the other thing not talked about enough for Jalen Hurts as well. I mean, even going back to high school, the man has a different offensive coordinator, which means a different system, different terminology every freaking year.
Hmm.
Every damn year. How about if Nick's going to stick around, that they hire an offensive coordinator who's going to be around for more than a season? How about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not Nick's fault. That's
What?
not Nick. That's not Nick or Howie's fault. You know
It is. It is a little bit. It is a little bit. You because one of the things you can do, and I'm not saying it's easy to do, but you can hire an offensive coordinator, maybe get an older one who isn't completely set on it being a stepping stone to being a head coach.
Mm. Did you mute yourself?
I'm here. Yeah, I hit the mute with my
Oh,
finger,
okay.
my thumb. It's like it's in a bad spot. That's the only thing I
Yeah,
don't like about this mic.
yeah. I mean, that's a possibility. Or you find a guy that's young enough and wants to stay around. That's the thing with Josh McDaniels.
But
That's the problem. Kellen Moore. This is the thing. This is the thing with Kellen Moore, right? We could have a Josh McDaniels situation with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore, he's with the Saints right now. Maybe he realized that this head coaching thing isn't the thing. Isn't the thing
that
for me. And
that
he
could
and
very
he
well
and
be
he and
true.
he can maybe come back in a
But
year
that's
or
the thing
two.
is, I mean, I don't know that there are many young offensive coordinators who don't want to become head coaches.
Yeah, that's being young.
You know what I mean?
You're in
And the
business.
NFL, everything changes so fast with schemes and everything that's evolving is that there are teams desperate enough who have been bad enough for long enough that if an offensive coordinator has like one good year somewhere, they're willing to give him a shot at head coach
Yeah.
because they figure it can't get worse.
I mean,
So
did you see the
maybe they
report
find
about Patullo? You saw the
that
report
young
about
guy.
Patullo? Did you
What
see
was
the
that?
reports that Patullo's like on? People are even interested in Kevin Patullo being their head coach.
I did hear that. How insane is that? Now see that shows you how bad it's gotten, right?
Yeah, but I mean, but there has to be something that these teams see. That they're also on the flip side. There has to be something that they see. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there has to be something there. There has to be something there.
Does there?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
there has to be something
do
there.
teams ever make a mistake? And it's funny they
Of
said
course,
that
they make
because
mistakes.
on another note, it was when was Devontae Smith drafted? 21, right?
Yeah, something around there.
Yeah. So I just saw. I don't have it pulled up. Twitter's. I already told you. I can't get anything on Twitter right now because it keeps doing the damn retry thing. But I saw something just the other day about the 2021 draft and saying, if that was the draft, up at the top was shoot, I forget who number one was, but like number three was Trey Lance. Like it was there were, and that was I think Devontae Smith was 10. I
Mm.
think we got him at 10. And it like the basically someone put out the list of the first round of 2021 and said, how would this change now if we did it, if it was done now? And I'm looking at that board, Ben, and I'm like, there's no way in hell if everyone knew now what they knew then, there's no way in hell we would have gotten Devontae Smith. He would have gone like in the top 3 because so many of those guys just didn't pan out. It is kind of wild, and that's what's crazy. Uh, like Minnesota, and we've talked about this, and like you've already given up on JJ McCarthy. I have no idea. I don't think he was that great in college,
Wow,
But
Jalen
so,
Phillips,
so
same draft.
yeah, he was. Thank you for mentioning that because I had it in my head, but I forgot. And he was at like what 14, 15, something like that,
Mm,
right? He went in the first
18,
round.
18.
18. Okay. But yeah, look at those top guys, man. Who's number one? Because that's bothering me. It was a
Trevor
quarterback.
Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, that's what that. Okay. But yeah, but look at that. I mean, there's no way in hell we get Devontae Smith if people know now what they know then knew then what they know now.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a couple of good players in this first round. We would have gotten somebody at 10,
Oh,
not
there
Devontae
are,
Smith.
but
We
there
would
are
have
a
gotten
lot of
somebody.
guys in that top 10 that you're like, yeah. But now I forget what I was just
Just
saying
just
about
just
that. The
just Zach Wilson, just Zach Wilson and Trey Lance. That's it. The rest of this top 10 is pretty damn good. Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Penei Sewell,
yeah,
J.C.
and
Horn, and
then
Sertan. That's a
look at some of
outside
the
of
other
the
quarterbacks.
outside of those two guys. That's a pretty good top 10.
Oh, my point was JJ McCarthy.
Micah
And this
Parsons
isn't
at 12. Damn.
yeah, right? Micah Parsons is it. Um this isn't specific to JJ. It's just that it's happening with him now. So I'm not saying whether he's going to be good or not, but it's been such a shift. And I think we talked about this a little bit before. And
Who?
we're actually lucky that it didn't happen with Jalen Hurts. When he got named the starter, I expected it to. I did not think he would have the development leash that he's been given because there isn't one anymore. And we've talked about this before. Young, if you look back, there are all-time great Hall of Fame quarterbacks that if they were playing today might not have ever actually had a career because there's no patience with developing quarterbacks nowadays,
Mm,
right? Like forget whether you think JJ McCarthy be good or not. It's just I'm only using him because it's just happened. The guy plays like one or two games and struggles, and people are like, he's terrible. He's never going to be a great quarterback. Got to get rid of him. He's done. And it's like, what? Like,
mm,
I'm not saying it's not going to be true in his case, but to make those decisions, I mean, even making those decisions off one, I mean, Troy Aikman, he won a game his first year. Peyton Manning won a game his first year. And go look back at the number of interceptions Peyton Manning threw early in his career. Like, those guys wouldn't even have been given a chance nowadays, man. Let's like take a deep breath. And I expected that with Jalen Hurts. Like I thought because of where he was drafted, right? Like, this guy wasn't a can't miss quarterback prospect. You know what I mean?
mm.
He was drafted what late second round. So I truly I got to tell you when he was given the starting role, my thought process was I saw enough of him in college and enough of him with the Eagles that I hope that they give him enough time that we truly get to see whether he can be it or not. But I did not expect it.
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
I'm back.
yeah, yeah. These I think the narrative is more of a short leash than the actual chance that these quarterbacks get. I think the narrative makes it seem shorter than it is. You know, Trubisky had a couple of years to prove himself. Fields had a couple of years to prove himself. Bryce Young,
Um,
he still has a long enough leash. He's proven himself. Um, I think the talk around them is a little bit more the jig is up, more than so the teams feel around them is the jig is up. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's fair. I think also you probably have situations where it can be like, oh yeah, he's terrible. We want to get rid of him, but you also need to have an alternative that's better.
Yeah, like even the Giants with Daniel Jones, they gave Daniel Jones a long ass leash. You know, he had one good year. I mean, he's doing
And
good. He's doing
and
good. Yeah,
I'll say,
but he's doing
and
good
that may
now. But
be
but yeah, but one bad year among six good years to have a good seventh year, you can't expect organizations to wait
no,
6 years.
but my point being is maybe it wasn't Daniel Jones.
Oh no, I'm not saying it was or it wasn't, but
No, I understand your point,
you
but
can't
like with
always
that,
take
you
that
also
long.
wonder if because that's not the. It's also Mac. Like Mac. Speaking of Jones, keeping up with the Joneses, Mac Jones.
Yeah, yep, yep,
Of
yep.
course, they gave the start back to Brock Purdy, but here's the thing: if Brock Purdy is going to be the starter, Mac Jones is going to be somewhere else next year. Somebody saw enough that they're going to want Mac Jones as their starting quarterback next year.
Mm, mm.
But be honest, before now, maybe you're one of those guys that thought he had it and was just in the wrong situation. But most people thought Mac Jones ain't it.
Mhm.
right? And that's why he's not there anymore. And that's why so much, especially I think more so with quarterbacks than anything, which I will give credit to the Eagles with Jalen Hurts in that as terms is it helped like all the things you mentioned, like the quarterback and right the quarterback coach relationship and all that. So much you got to have the talent, but so much can be affected by being in the right spot with the right coach and the right system and all of those things that really impact what a player is going to deliver. I mean,
Yeah.
Daniel Jones didn't all of a sudden overnight become a much better quarterback.
Yeah, I would hate to have a change of head coach, bring in a new offense velocity. Jalen Hurts throws the ball for 35 times. His stats look good, and we're just not as competitive as we are.
Well, that's the thing. No, I'm with, and I don't want that. But you know
I
what?
don't think that's happening.
It feels like there are a lot of people who do want that.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. I don't want
You know
this
what
to
I
be.
mean?
Dude, I think the biggest thing that the Seahawks and Pete Carroll did wrong with Russell Wilson was change their offensive philosophy once beast mode left and turn him into a 4,000 yard passing quarterback. That was the worst
I
thing.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree
yeah, I don't want us to do that.
because he. I mean, he could be in today's NFL, but that's not who he is, and
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
not how
oh yeah,
you win
Hurts. Yeah,
games.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
same
and I'm
same thing
100
with Russell. Like he was a 4,000, but is that how we're going to win games? Like they'll get to the
right,
playoffs.
right. I'm with
I'm
you,
sure if
man.
you ask a
A hun-
Seahawks fan, they'd be like, "No, I'd much rather Russell Wilson throwing the ball 25 times. We
a
have a good
hundred
running game
percent.
and a lockdown
And
defense
and you
than
know,
turning the keys over to a quarterback. As
to
soon as you
that
turn the
point,
keys over, unless it's like an elite guy, it's a wrap.
yeah. Well, and to that point, when you look at the number of times Jalen Hurts throws the football, no matter how well he throws it, he's not going to put up gaudy passing yard numbers,
Mm,
right? Like because he rarely, unless they need him to, he rarely throws the ball 30 plus times a game.
mm,
Okay, so if you're throwing it 25 times a game and you average 8 yards per pass attempt, which would put you in the top 5 in the league, that's still only 200 passing yards. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm, mm.
he's not throwing it, he's not going to put up big yardage numbers because he's not throwing it 35, 40 times a game. And by the way, the one time we had him do that, he did put up big numbers, but he also threw a lot of interceptions
Mhm.
because there were, and not because, oh, well, that means he was exposed. It's because, no, we were having him take a lot more chances. And that's where you get that whole risk reward. We've talked about that before. A lot of people want him to be a gunslinger. I don't want him to be a gunslinger because too many of those passes go back the other direction.
Well, I also think I think we can both agree, whether we like Jalen Hurts or not, he's not a gunslinger. You know what I mean? Like you don't watch him pass and be like, oh man, he's a gunslinger. You know, he's just not that type of guy. That'd
Oh,
be
I
like asking
agree.
Eli Manning to be a gunslinger.
I agree completely. Eli Manning had two good runs in his entire career.
You know what? I would take that. I'll
No,
take it.
I well,
If we get two
and
good, if we get two good runs out of Hurts, man, I'll take that.
right, and
I'll take that.
there's the thing, man. Right, it's like Eli Manning was an now I won't say okay, I'll say above
Because I'll tell you this right
average.
now: if Jalen Hurts has a terrible rest of his career, right? Let's say this year we go head to head against the Chiefs. Somehow the Chiefs make it the playoffs and they go, and then we get to the Super Bowl and we meet him in the Super Bowl, and Jalen Hurts beats Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts can have a terrible career, and I'll say that guy's a Hall of Famer. Well, why is he all? Dude, did you see who he fucking beat in the Super Bowl? He literally
Yeah,
ended a dynasty in the Super Bowl.
100%.
Yeah, yeah, that's where I kind of agree with some of the Giants fans. Like, dude, he's not a great quarterback. I'm not going to sit here and say he is. But at some point, beating Brady twice needs to mean something. At some point, beating this guy twice has to mean something.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, for me, and this is where it goes back to words and everything. I guess for me, it depends how you're defining great. I
Yeah.
mean, I think he's a top 10. Is that great? I mean, for some people it is. For others, it's like, no, he's got to be top 4 to be great.
Top 10 right now? Top 10 all time? What are you talking about?
Oh no, I mean right now, not all time. No, no, no. Like
Yeah,
in the
top 10.
league.
Yeah, I'd say he's in the upper half. I'd say he's in the upper half. I wouldn't use the word bad or. I'd say he's above average, and his decision making is excellent. From like a
Yeah,
talent
I mean,
standpoint, he's
like
above average, and his decision making is excellent.
if you look at almost all of the numbers that you use for a quarterback, he's top 10. top 5 in many of them. So it's like, well, I mean, so how are we deciding? Is it because he doesn't, you watch him play and it doesn't look like Josh Allen? It doesn't look like Justin Herbert? I mean, so like, how are we defining it? Because if you look at the numbers, he's got them all.
All right, what top 10 numbers?
I don't
He's
have them
not
all.
top, he's not top 10 in passing yards. And see, now I hate to do this because this makes it seem like I'm anti-Hurts. He's not top 10 in passing yards. He's not top 10 in completion percentage. When it comes to turnover ratio, yeah, he's I think he's first in the league when it comes to turnover ratio. Either him or Stafford are like 1 and 2. Stafford has 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Hurts has 22
See,
touchdowns,
I can't,
1
I have it,
interception.
I have a bunch of those things saved in my Twitter, which I can't pull up right now. But I just saw the other day, it had a list of things where he's top 10 in almost all of them, like passer rating,
Rating, he's top 10.
turnover turnover ratio, yards per attempt, adjusted yards per attempt, completion percentage.
He's not top 10 in completion
Um,
percentage. I just pulled it up.
and things like facing the blitz. He's first in the NFL with his quarterback rating and facing the
Yeah, and
blitz.
completion percentage is Drake May, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Jared Goff, Mac Jones, Kyler Murray, Tua, Lamar. You can keep going. Spencer Rattler, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy,
Dude,
Andy Dalton for his couple games, and Jalen Hurts.
dude,
Where'd you get those numbers from?
68.4%, 840 yards, 11 TDs,
Where'd you get those numbers? Where'd you get those
Let me
numbers from?
finish.
Where are you getting them
Hold on.
from? Because I'm on NFL.com and his completion percentage isn't 68 over here. That's why I'm asking.
It's not what? Well, you know what? I might have looked for the last game when he was only 14 and 28. So, but 68.4%, 840 yards, 11 TDs, 1 interception, 8.6 yards per attempt, 128.8 passer rating, which is first in the NFL. That is Jalen Hurts against the blitz. How is he not a top 10 quarterback?
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that. I'm asking you. I asked you. You said if you look at a certain stat, and I said what stats?
Well, I don't have them in front of me. I mean,
That's
that's what I'm
it.
saying. I don't.
Well, that's what.
I got.
Well, if you're bringing up stats over the last 4 games, that's over the last 4 games. I don't have it. I just asked what stat. That's it. I'm not disagreeing. I just said what stats because I pulled up pass yards and completion percentage, and he's not there. When
Well,
it comes to passer
of
rating,
course
he's
he's
there.
not in passing yardage. We all
Yeah,
know that because
when it
that's.
comes to pass, but that's I just asked what stats, CDS. That's all I asked for. I just asked what stats.
Well, that's what I said. I don't have it in front of me because I can't. I have it in my
Yeah,
bookmark in X, and I don't have them in.
passer rating and touchdown and interception ratio, yeah, he's top 10. He's top 10 in that. He's top 10 in that.
There are a bunch of others, but also what? But I'll find them at some point and even send them to you or do a video. A number of my videos have them, but oh, I just. But also a lot of them are like what I just mentioned. They're not necessarily specific to everything overall, but like I just mentioned, his passer rating is first in the NFL against the blitz. I don't know. I think that's important for a quarterback.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm not disagreeing.
But I'm just saying to say I just think it's to say he's not a top 10 quarterback is odd. Um, but it's wild, by the way. If you here's one thing I do have. You've heard speaking of Eli Manning, and you've probably heard of Ben Roethlisberger as well, right?
Mhm.
At this point in their careers, Jalen Hurts owns them in every stat except Eli has more touchdown passes, had more touchdown passes, and Roethlisberger had a point 0.1 yards per attempt advantage over Hurts. But Hurts has a better completion percentage. By the way, more passing yards than Eli and Ben Roethlisberger. Fewer interceptions, higher passer rating, obviously more rushing yards, more rushing touchdowns, and on and on and on. More Pro Bowls, more All Pros.
Oh yeah, more Pro Bowls. Come on, Ben Roethlisberger's going up against Manning and Brady.
Well,
come on, dude. He's never getting a Pro Bowl with those going up against those two every year.
I'm just saying,
No,
man.
I hear you. I
He
was just
gets a
cherry
lot
picking that
more
one.
hate than he should. Um,
Yeah, well,
it's just
I never noticed. Like I was talking to Rudy. Rudy thinks Ben Roethlisberger is one of the most overrated quarterbacks of his generation. So I mean, there are people out there that say even Ben Roethlisberger gets a little bit too much love than he deserves.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I'm just trying to find some of the stuff that had, that I was talking about, but I just can't get into my
I mean, we're
my
not
Twitter.
we're not going to know till the end of his season, but I think he needs one more. One more. He's solidified. He's going to be he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He needs it.
What
He
one
needs
more
Super Bowl.
one more Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Oh, here's the thing. I don't think
Yeah,
because of the numbers put up by quarterbacks nowadays,
yeah,
typically even bad ones, bad quarterbacks put up big numbers now because of the way the game is played. I don't think Jalen Hurts is on track to be a Hall of Famer unless, like you said, unless you're going to just judge it by the Super Bowls,
yeah. Because you also have to look at like
right? I mean,
the dude the Jalen
and to
Hurts in
be
the
fair,
regular season is a far different guy than he is in the Super Bowl.
yeah,
So
and to be fair, it's not like it hasn't been done before. I
yeah,
mean, it's wild. If one of the most famous quarterbacks ever and in the Hall of Fame, all because of something he said and then backed it up.
mm,
But actually, if you look at his numbers, not very good. And that's Joe Namath. Like if you look
mm,
at Joe, he had more interceptions than touchdowns, I believe.
mm.
I think a losing record, less than 50% completion percentage. And I know the game was also different then, but even compared to other quarterbacks in his time,
mm.
but he made the Hall of Fame because the Jets beating the Baltimore Colts at that time was,
Yeah,
which so first of all, it was just
propelled him.
huge in the game. AFL, NFL, like it was
Yeah.
just, the impact is what
Mm,
did it.
mm.
So yeah, I mean, I could if he wins another Super Bowl, maybe gets to a couple more, I can see him getting to the becoming a Hall of Famer for that. But he's
Yeah,
not
dude.
going to put up the
Yeah,
regular season numbers.
number wise he's never going to get
Yeah,
there. But I'd say
no,
the same thing for Russell Wilson, dude. If he never threw an interception on the goal line and they decided to hand it off to Marshawn Lynch, I think not only is Marshawn Lynch walking to the end zone,
yeah. Oh,
Wilson's walking into the Hall of Fame. Now he's not. Now he's not. Now
great.
he's not a Hall of Famer.
No, and great. By the way, great example because we just mentioned him a couple of different times. Is dude, Eli Manning is not in the Hall of Fame for his career.
He did get him in. They did get him in, right?
I believe, yeah, he's in,
Okay,
right?
okay. I would have put him in. I would have put him in just based
But
on who
he's
we
but
beat in the
he's
Super Bowl.
he's in for the two Super Bowl runs. He's
Yes.
in
Yep.
for beating the 18-0 or 19-0.
And that's why I would have put him in too, for both
Right.
of them,
Well,
not just one of them. Both of them had to happen.
right.
That's my thing. Both of them would have had to happen for me. Just like with Hurts,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
dude, if they would have, if that pass interference call never gets called in 2023, and Jalen Hurts is sitting here with 2 Super Bowl rings, dude,
Oh,
it's over. It's over.
yeah.
It's over. He's a Hall of Famer. It's done with. He beat Mahomes
Absolutely.
twice, outplayed him. It's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's why I think he just needs
Yeah.
one more.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm just going to like set everything aside and go, just full on bias Eagles fan, Nick Foles, come on. He's in the Super Bowl. Come on.
Yeah. Now this is the thing because now I think they're going to let him in just because stats wise he's going to get in and he looks the part. But
Who?
as far as I'm about to say,
Oh, okay.
I was leaving
I
the
thought I
cliff.
missed it.
Yeah, I was leaving the cliffhanger right there. He looks the part, and stats wise, I think he's going to get in, and he does have a Super Bowl under his belt. But in my mind, only my mind, I can only speak for myself. Stafford needs one more too for me. Like he needs one more for me. That's for me. You can't be a loser your whole entire life, get into a new organization, and put up good numbers in this one organization and win a Super Bowl. Dude, he needs one more for me. He's always been for me. He needs one more.
No, I get well, and I think there's a great example of how skewed numbers are in this modern NFL to quarterbacks,
Yeah.
right? Like I agree with you. If Matthew Stafford played in the 90s, no one would be talking about him for the Hall of Fame. But now you look at his numbers and just
Yeah.
his, the gaudy numbers, the yards and all that, and you compare that to guys who are in the Hall but they played back in the day, you get a lot of people be like, how can he not be in? But
Yeah.
I'm with you. I lean towards where you are with the fact that he did nothing in Detroit all those years. And again, he's a good quarterback. But
He
and
looks
and
the
this
part. He's got
is
arm talent. He's got it all. But
yeah,
I need something else, man.
speaking of the whole, this is me and in my brain, and I can only speak for me.
Yeah,
Me personally, not just the NFL, but all major sports nowadays, too many people getting in the Hall of Fame. It has
yeah,
been watered down.
yeah. The last is really baseball. That's like the last one that's like has some type of
A
integrity.
little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even
Because
this
nowadays
latest
it
year,
seems like it's like, oh, every year we've got to have people that it's like, no, man,
no, you don't.
there should be sections of 5 or 10 years where no one
Yeah,
gets in because
yeah,
there just isn't someone.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is the truth. But dude, like the NBA, bro, I think I'm 2 games away from being in the NBA Hall of Fame. You know, you know what I mean? With how easy it is in the
Dude,
NBA, dude, I'm almost in the Hall of Fame. Shit.
sign a 10-day contract with somebody, pay somebody off to let you
Yeah,
shoot a
it's
three.
crazy.
You're one for
Yeah,
one.
it's nuts, man.
You're in.
It's
You're in,
nuts.
man. You're
It's
absolutely
nuts.
in. Uh, but dude, I'm thinking about the game today.
They got to win, CDS.
Well, I
CDS.
think,
If they
yeah, that's
lose
what
and this offense looks like shit, I'm coming here on Monday and
tomorrow. Oh,
I'm
dude,
everybody's gonna get crucified.
we'll rant and rave tomorrow. We'll probably have a lot of clips we can use. But I think because all this praise that we've given the defense, deservedly so, what they haven't done, and we talked about this last week, and then they've been even better. They, with what they did to Detroit, and they had one. They're not getting turnovers with that offense from Dallas, because again, as much as I hate them, I got to be fair. They definitely have a good offense. One of the ways to keep them out of the end zone, we've got to get a couple turnovers today, man. We got to get a couple turnovers. Got to win the turnover battle. And I mean like 2-0.
Yeah, I want to look at it. Let's say I'm sure it evens out. Let's say we get I'm just using numbers just to use numbers here. Let's say we get 10 3 and outs, right? Well, we've gotten the ball back 10 times. Another team gets 8 3 and outs and 2 turnovers. Well, at the end of the day, we both got the ball back 10 times. The thing with
Right.
turnovers, what is going to matter is where do these turnovers occur? Does it occur on their half of the field or does it occur on our half of the field? That'd be
Yeah.
one thing. But again, dude, if we lose this game, I'm going to say this too, CDS. If we lose this game and this offense doesn't put up over 21 points, I don't care if this defense gets 0 turnovers, man. This offense is getting killed. They're getting killed.
Well, and
Because
and
this is
to
going to be
that
one of those
point
times
though,
where, dude, okay, our defense isn't as great as it is every single week. God forbid our defense has one bad game. You motherfuckers better put up some fucking points, dude. That's the thing. I'm not gonna give
to well,
out, and then as soon as the defense has a bad game, all right, let's pile it on this defense. No, they had a bad game. So you know what you got to do on the offensive side of the ball? Put up fucking points. Got
to
to put up
that
fucking
point,
points.
and this is what is a concern for me because now we're 10 games in. I don't expect it, but I very much can easily see a bad offensive performance if the damn play calling doesn't change. The only way I see a good offensive performance is if we get down early double digits, right? Like if it is a disaster start and we get down 14-0, 14-3, 17-7, something like that,
Mm.
then we are forced to open up the offense a little bit. And that might be, my Lord, it sounds crazy, but the key to winning this game might be actually getting behind early. Force the offense to change and open up, take the straight jacket off Jalen Hurts,
Mm.
maybe run some crossing patterns. Um, there was a play, and I forget who it was that went around a lot because people were like, "Why can't we do any of this stuff?" Or it was I forget who it was, but Cooper was covering somebody for the Lions in the slot,
Mm.
and I think there were 2 or 3 receivers on that side, and it was man to man, and he ran a full on crossing pattern all the way across the field to where the throw actually came on the other sideline.
Mm.
And Cooper just got completely lost in the massive bodies. I think a teammate even tripped over him. They tried to avoid each other. The guy was wide open, and it was like the Eagle fans, of course, like, can we run a pattern like this just once this year to try and get a receiver open?
Mm.
Instead of running. Do you realize the Eagles, despite throwing the ball so little, by a huge, huge margin, lead the NFL in hitch patterns?
Mm.
I mean, we're so predictable. We don't do anything to get our players open at all. It is. I'm going to take a deep breath because otherwise I'm going to start screaming about Kevin Patullo. The more I think about it, the guy is horrifically bad. I'm so pissed off that this guy is calling plays for this team. He's put them all in a straitjacket. He's put handcuffs on every single player in the offense. We have way too much freaking talent on this offense to struggle to score 20 points.
Mm. Yeah.
Like, I look at the 22 film and I look at the patterns of what the players are running, like AJ Brown's route tree and all that, and I'm like, how the hell do we expect Jalen Hurts to put up big numbers when we don't do anything to help our receivers get open?
Mm.
I mean, it's ridiculous, and I've actually done videos on showing this, and it happened last game as well, where it's like we run three receivers straight up the field. All of them stop and turn around at 6 yards.
Mm.
The damn Lions were beating our receivers to the spot. It was so
Yeah.
predictable.
Yeah. No, it's gotta improve. It's all gotta improve. But again, CDS, everybody's gonna get it. If you're coming, if we don't score 21 points, dude, and you're only coming here talking about play calling, I don't want to hear it, man. Everybody needs to get it, CDS. Everybody.
Have you not been listening? Have I not gone after AJ Brown? Have I not gone
No,
after Saquon Barkley? Have I not gone after the offensive line?
everybody.
Well, and the coaching, including Nick Sirianni, who, by the way, you would not go after. So
Everybody.
I think you need to include him in the everybody.
Everybody.
Does everybody include Nick?
Everybody.
I'll take that as a yes, even though you don't want to say it,
Everybody.
because I know you're afraid of moving on from Nick.
Everybody.
But
All right, CDS.
yeah, I mean, they got it. They have to score at least 20.
Yeah. Yep.
Got to get in the 20s. So, but yeah, man. So we'll see. Early. Hey, wait, was there a
No London game today.
okay, there was no overseas game today, right? So no one's playing. All right.
No, nothing going on
All right,
today.
cool. So got to get something to eat. Got to suffer through the early games.
Yeah, 425. 425.
But all right, man.
All right, CDS.
Appreciate it as always, man.
Appreciate everybody.
Thanks everyone for showing up. Appreciate it.
Indeed.
And and for those here, we'll do our post game tomorrow, right?
Yep, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Yep, 5 Eastern time, by the way. And so hopefully y'all can tune in for that. Go enjoy the game. We'll talk to you all later.
Peace.